night. It's a good time. All right, so blue-black with a small green splash, Soul Diviner. So Soul Diviner here, remove a counter from an artifact, creature, or land. Artifact, creature, land, or planeswalker you control, draw a card. This synergizes well with Dreadhorde Invasion, powering up zombies, cheap planeswalkers that add a lot of loyalty to themselves, amass tokens from things like this. It also works well with our card Blast Zone here, so this is basically a base blue-black deck with Assassin's Trophy Splash as an efficient removal spell, and some Tamiyos as well to rebuy our various things, as well as provide another source of counters for the Soul Diviner. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this one and see how it goes. Easy game, easy life. Are we good at this game, or are we good at this game, chat? Ah, crap. Do I want to play against Wilderness Reclamation? I'm not sure that I do. Yeah, I'm not gonna start off our standard day feeling miserable. Playing against the Wilderness Reclamation deck makes me hate myself and hate Magic, so rather than doing that, we're just gonna go to the next match. I really hope Wizards has the decency and the foresight to ban Nexus of Fate in Historic. It's too late to hope. It's not going to happen in Standard, but I really hope they don't let that card be a stain on their new non-rotating format. Life's too short, and Magic's something you're supposed to play for fun. So if you're ever playing a matchup where you're just not having fun, you should concede the matchup. Well, so Nexus of Fate isn't an overpowered card. No, Nexus of Fate in general is pretty bad. Even like the quasi-duplicate Cavalier Nexus of Fate deck, that deck is just as bad and just as tedious to play against. It's just newer, so people haven't played against it as much to feel as bad. Naya Feather, maybe? Could be a bit of a brew as well. Yeah, but that deck was only sweet because it wasn't very good. Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible position to take, honestly, Pelly. Like, just stop printing extra turn spells. Because they're either too good or terrible. Yeah, I agree, Brightstar. Things like Nexus of Fate should be like this novel thing that happens. It should be neat. It shouldn't be something that happens consistently. Yeah, I think those ones are fine. I like how they like went from these things. They like the jump from taking extra turn spells generally exile themselves to an extra turn spell that shuffles back into your library is such an incredibly wild jump. I just can't even fathom who thought that was an okay jump to make. I genuinely don't get it. Like normally these spells do the opposite, right? Yeah, right? Like they made two huge jumps. They like made this thing, they made it an instant and they made it shuffle back in as opposed to being a sorcery and exiling itself upon resolution. Hey, Ty Glorious, thank you for the 5 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. She dies no matter how I block, so there's no point in blocking. No, they're definitely not stupid enough to think it wouldn't be played because of scarcity. That would be pretty exceptionally stupid, and I don't think they're quite that dumb. I think they genuinely just thought it wasn't an appropriate power level. Alright, we're pretty dead here. I really don't have great cards for this matchup. Like Contempt and Legion's End are okay. I'd be hesitant to call them good there. Legion's End doesn't hit Spellbreaker. I'm gonna trim the extra invasion. It is not Deck and Stone, yep. Ugin because you can't God's Willing it. Huh, maybe it's just so much mana. Maybe it's good enough that it's just like worth having since it's a guaranteed way to get off the table if they're not playing the indestructible spell. They missed more than that TZT. Like I said, I think Nexus is also not okay in decks that aren't playing Boulder's Reclamation. Like these, there's so much good ramp in this format. And also another thing is, when one of the things that gets brought up a lot of the time when we talk about like things that people feel are mistakes is, I don't expect people designing Magic to never miss something or to never make a mistake. In fact, I would argue that if R&D isn't making mistakes on occasion, they're not innovating enough. However, what I do expect is when Nexus of Fate creates the types of play patterns that it creates, someone takes a step back and goes, oh, we should probably not have this be legal. I want them to own it when they make a mistake that creates bad play patterns. And maybe I'm just off base and they don't think Nexus of Fate is a mistake and they want the play patterns of that card to exist. It's very possible that we just have a fundamental difference of opinion between myself and the people who design the Magic cards on what should and shouldn't exist in the game. You know, like, there's a possibility that they're very happy with the outcome that we're currently experiencing. And, like, if that's the case, that's fine. They're allowed to have that opinion, right? Please draw a second Legionnaire. They drew Feather, Vomit. They have Feather plus Ambush. Okay, so we don't draw a removal spell, we're probably dead. So this lets them go, maybe I'm not supposed to play this, because this lets them go land. Oh, they can't Domri's Ambush unless they have a red source. Okay. Okay, that's good for me at least. So if this isn't a red source, we're kind of okay, maybe. Maybe. It's a red source, isn't it? So, okay, so we get 2 draws of Assassin's Trophy here, or other removal spell. I'm gonna play this out first. No, that's wrong. Because I could draw Vraska's Contempt here, right? Yeah, I'm gonna draw Vraska's Contempt to be sad. I guess I could have played this out. Yeah, I guess I should have played this out, right? Because they probably can't kill both of them next turn. They drew God's Willing. JK, LOL, we done? JK, we done? This is a build our own Phyrexian Arena. We're kind of dancing around the edges, but that is in fact what we've accomplished. Yeah, I agree, Fenelris. And again, this could just be a fundamental difference of opinions, but in my opinion, the only criteria for banning something should not be power level. Also, I'd argue with you that if there were more high-stakes standard tournaments, we might see more Nexus of Fate, but there also just aren't a lot of high-stakes standard tournaments. Like, it was just last season that Nexus of Fate beat Brad Nelson in the finals of the Mythic Championship. Like, do you not remember that? So, like, to play the opposite part, like, we kind of have had big results with Nexus of Fate. There just aren't that many tournaments for them to repeat it. Oh no! Thief of Sanity's greatest enemy, the O3 Reach. Yikes. Yeah, but I feel like crafting since M20's release in your timeline is a misnomer because of the lack of data from there. Like, drawing that conclusion with the information pool that we have is disingenuous. In my opinion. We didn't see that much Nexus last season until there was a big tournament and someone really cared to finally do it. That's what ended up happening. Am I trophying in a Boreal Grazer? I might be trophying in a Boreal Grazer if they leave us with it. Alright, Blast Zone it is. Get blasted. Evolving Wilds, that's a deep one. It's unfortunate. At least we took this Thought Erasure, right? We get to take this out of here. I think I'm gonna keep that one in the bank for now. This gets them closer to triggering field, but I can't leave a Yarok in play. You have 5 differently named lands. They're 2 off. That's an exciting one. Makes our clock a little bit faster here. Have a trophy. Is Evolving Wilds a blank in the face of Bloodsun? I believe so. The way Bloodsun is worded, it turns off non-mana abilities, right? Them drawing lands that they already have copies of is the best possible thing for us here. Ooh, that's terrifying. You're not alone, Gecko. There's a reason why myself and a lot of other creators are doing more modern at the moment. Huh? This is... I can sit here, and this is the problem, again, with these mid-range decks in the format, is I can sit here and generate some card advantage at this point, but, like, what is my card advantage actually, like, doing for me? Like, my card advantage, even though I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, doesn't actually keep up with all of my opponent's lands making creatures, right? Are they shocked they have a Grazer? Sure. Yep. All right.
Many have challenged me over the ages. Bow to the howling wind. Your presence darkens my sky.
Yeah, I agree, Maddo. They really struggle. And just like every land drop from here makes 3 things, right? So like how do I ever hope to keep up? I just can't. It's like early Thief of Sanity is like my one hope, and like with the Boreal Grazer, even that's not gonna be good enough a lot of the time. Nah, I just wasn't thinking about it. There's no reason not to. It just doesn't matter. I'm kind of checked out and we're dead. Did I forget to put Unmoored Egos in the sideboard of this? I might have forgotten to put Unmoored Egos in the sideboard of this. Yeah, definitely forgot to put Unmoored Ego in the side. Let's fix that. We can try again. To like play that card and cross your fingers that you see it before they get Field of the Dead down. Yeah, I agree. Just like, well, like we have 4 trophies at least in this deck. So like, unlike Esper, if they get a field down before we can ego them, like we can deal with the ego they have in the field they have in play. There's less Narset around. I wonder if the Drake's deck could be okay. Narset was one of the big issues that archetype had. It was a bad die roll to lose. I'm gonna trade these if they attack. You played against a mono red player last night with 4 Field of Ruin. That's pretty funny. Yep. We're getting the Hoagling Gauntlet this morning, and it does not seem good for us. And the same thought about Drakes and immediately queued into Esper. Yep, sounds about right. Playing Drake seems like a good way to see a random Narset. Yeah, that is how the matchmaking on Arena works, right? You play your deck that's like kind of a cute metagame deck, but not actually super powerful, and like immediately queue into somebody that's like doing something that dumpsters you. It's why in general, it's good to just be doing something that's proactive rather than trying to react to people. Because like, hoping that your reactive stuff is going to line up well is generally a fool's errand.
Now, be patient.
Ooh, that one's pretty good. Tamiyo prevents them from making us sacrifice creatures. Huh? I'm actually just blast zoning here, huh?
Bow to the howling winds.
I don't know how we're gonna beat this Rekindling Phoenix, which is this is actually a great example we were just talking about. Our deck doesn't have good answers to Rekindling Phoenix, but like, when was the last time I saw this card played, right? Like it's been a while. It's like queue up with a deck that like has a hard time beating it, immediately queue into it.
I cannot bear to stay.
So we're gonna crank Blast Zone to 2 and then clean these out, but they're gonna need to sack 2 of these to draw cards. So like, you know, it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. What an incredibly reasonable and beatable card. Oh my, we're probably dead anyways. Might find a different deck for you to play instead of Meme Kid on Thursday. Sure. We have a couple of cries at least. We got that going for us. Which figure's okay here? Oh, what do I actually want to cut? Yeah, I feel like the probability of our tap out control deck being able to hold up enough mana to Disdainful Stroke a Phoenix is like pretty unlikely. Let's try this. You don't bring an Ego in these fair matchups. It's not what Ego is for. If I cut the invasions, my draw engine is basically non-existent, so I don't think I can afford to do that. You get nothing! -1 damage to me, please. I like the attention to detail and that, like, this just doesn't have an animation if it doesn't deal damage. Like, if it's dealing 0 or less, it just doesn't animate. Show me what you're working with. Dubs, Bantu, and Legion Warboss. Alright, well, Warboss means we only want to attack for 1 here because I want to eat their Goblin token. That's a really good draw, but we have this Vraska's Contempt, so we got that going for us. It's funny, I put 2 of these in the sideboard for having a clean answer to Cavalier Thorns, but does also answer Phoenix in a pinch. This is my 1-4. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Is just Tamiyo plus here? I think so. What am I looking for though?
I know I noted this somewhere.
I named Thief of Sanity. Almost named Soul Diviner there. I don't know. I kind of want something that like can actually close the game out. We ditched a Cry, which is not bad. If they hit the 5th land, they'll have a Goblin and some lands to sacrifice to Bantu. What's going on, a Ninja Turtle? Howdy, howdy. Nah, I think Contempt's pretty expensive and clunky on average, and it's seeing an appropriate amount of play. Alright, bring on the idiots. Them playing all of this out when there's a cry in my bin seems a little aggressive. I mean, cry's better than rituals in here, right? Like by a lot.
I follow the tracks of the wise. I guess you do not want to talk.
Goodbye, friends. Don't need a second one of those. Looking for ways to actually close the game out at this point. They hit the land for the Bantu, yep. Probably plussing naming trophy. There's 3 of those in my deck. How greedy are you? Minimally greedy. 2's a pretty conservative take there.
The library.
It's an interesting thought, Marty. Could be a side effect of that. I'm kind of surprised they tucked Bantu in there, considering they have another one in their hand. I guess they just, like, always want to have one in their hand, 'cause, like, they must have a 5th land, they play a 5th land, they sack some lands, they draw up to the next one right away. But still, that requires a lot of lands to work out. Howdy, Nivik. Good morning.
Manners.
It doesn't really matter about it being 1 card deeper. The modern queue does have some good ones in it at the moment. I agree with that. Alright, get that Thief of Sanity. Tamiyo is not quite at a down tick, but getting close. More importantly, this is going to start hitting for 6 and life linking, so that's pretty valuable here. You broke your foot by kicking a piece of furniture while playing VL. Ouch. They're a little more desperate this time. They don't have another Trader Gator. I'm just going to name Assassin's Trophy again here. There's only 2 left, but they're down to half my deck, so that's fine.
Stop interrupting me. Let me aid your research.
Do I Thief or Gleaming Overseer here? I kind of feel like I want a Thief. I really care about blocking Bantu. I feel like they're not beating like this giant menace lifelink thing with hexproof. Alright. Squeaked it out. On to game the 3rd. Cry does a lot for us post-board. Remember when people thought Bitter Blossom could be too good for Modern? Anybody been playing Magic that long? It's so funny that, like, we're far enough removed from the Splinter Twin banning at this point that, like, there's people who will argue that Splinter Twin is too good that, like, have literally never played a game with the card. And that feels so strange to me. Like, their arguments are just, like, based in, like, really terrible theory and not reality. That JJ, thank you for the 13 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Devil plus Chandra here. Gonna be a bad time. It's not a good scene for our hero. Yeah, their hand's really good. I have a 6-digit DCI number. Yep.
Hey, don't start any fires without me.
Yeah, I've been playing Magic for 17 or 18 years now, but my DCI number is only about 7 years old. 7's probably accurate. DCI numbers do not expire. So, Soul Diviner's still gonna die to these Chandra tokens being sacrificed because they deal 2, but at least we killed one of them. Oh, if we hit an untapped land next turn and get to play like running, enter the God Eternals, we might have a shot. Maybe I should have played Thief of Sanity as just a gain 2 here. Because now we're taking 7 this turn. Hey, Adarak, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't mill them because they have a Chandra in play. Details. Now, if they just play out creatures that die to cry here, we can trophy the Phoenix and then cry and clear the board and then kill their Chandra. Hey, Kujito, sometimes you have to... Oh, Kujito, you did pop up. I'm sorry, I missed it. It was 3 minutes ago. Did I miss Urkadar too? Not a committee? I feel like I missed a few of these in here. At any rate, thanks for keeping me around. Welcome back.
Hey, these little guys are great.
Don't attack with the bird. Don't attack with the bird. Rats. So the attack with the bird means the knight gets out of cry range, which kind of sucks for us. Huh? There's some choices now. I think it's still just this. There's really no point in me attacking here because they'll just block sacked. So I think I just pass back so I can block one on here because gaining one is pretty valuable with how low my life total is.
Oh, they're so cute.
We're going to 4 here. Don't bond to me. Don't bond to me. Don't bond to me. Okay, so I get to go trophy, this, cast cry. I go to 3. I kill Chandra. So, like, we're definitely in a can get burned out position. We really want to draw the enchantment that gives this lifelink. I am saying there's a chance here. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Goodbye, Felicia. I have a relatively quick clock here because this thing cranks up to a 9/9 next turn with menace and whatnot. That's unfortunate. Lifelink! Lifelink! I don't think I can attack. We're gonna like get real close to stabilize. They're gonna burn us out and we'll be real sad. Dead to another war boss. That's not lethal. Means we have to top deck though, because I get to go eat fish, trade here, take go to 1. And then I need a blocker removal spell. Alright, solidly not dead yet. They have a lot of live ones though. Survey says. Okay. Lifelink! Lifelink! Sweating bullets over here. Is that better than my average draw? I don't think it is. Like, there's 38 cards in my deck. I feel like I just want the lifelink enchantment. That'll do, pig. Good game, opponent. It's a good third game. It's a good third game. Close, but no cigar. Yeah, I agree. I think bottoming the trophy is right there. I think keeping it is playing to not lose. I think if I hit the enchantment and gained 10, we'd be a lock. All right, let's try one more, but I feel like this has been another one. The next deck we're playing today too might be another of the like. Today in Hooglandia, we are highlighting why mid-range is unplayable in Standard. Which might be one of the things that holds Historic back, because that's very similar to modern mid-range decks tend to struggle. Mid-range decks tend to struggle in Modern too, which is something a lot of people don't like. Scry me a river, baby. As our weekly quest to find a Grixis deck bad reset. We played a bad Grixis deck in Modern this morning. Modern, where Grixis is also mostly bad. Oh, I guess something I also should be promoting. I mentioned the bit bonus from September, but to any of the people out there who haven't been welcomed into Hooglandia yet, new tier 1 subs from today until the 24th are supposed to be 50% off. So the first hit is half off for the next and part of that promotion, Twitch isn't taking out of my cut for that. So a $2.50 sub supports my content the same as a full $5 sub would on any other month. Much like promotions like this, they don't give any kind of discount to people who are already subbed. Fortunately, I don't have any control over that on my end. It's one of those year they do this every September usually. Try and get some new people in. I think I want to just get Thief of Sanity down ASAP and start connecting. Yeah, there's no deal on gifted subs. Only actual factual new tier 1 subs. Maybe we can be a Field of the Dead deck. Dunk. Take the one we can cast. Take the legal target. I think we just take Tamiyo here. Because Tamiyo's gonna get back anything otherwise, right? Been that, looking for another blue source or another land in general. The opponent's deck has enough lands in it that we're probably gonna hit only one spell with this pretty frequently. 28 to 30 lands is the norm in the Sultai Field deck. Yeah, that's true. Based on their current setup, they're not triggering field anytime soon. They do have another Rejuvenator, but like, you know. Gosh, our deck really wants us to have this Enter the God Eternals. This might be a game where we mill them out. Because, like, Thief of Sanity can take their Nexus of Fate if they're playing a Miser, like I recommend. This is not really a card that's been around the format much, so hitting people with this is kind of a good time. What a tilt. What a tilt. Stupid interactive field decks. Who told you to put interactive cards in your deck, opponent? Yeah. You made this? I made this. Hey, thanks, Rhino. Hey, thanks for the Bezo Bucks, Sir Sparkles. I appreciate that. Welcome. Every land makes 6 creatures. What an incredibly reasonable and beatable thing. Look at this. Look at this non-foil Cavalier of Thorns. Nobody loves you, non-foil Cavalier of Thorns. Every land drop might make them 6 zombies, but that's no Mu Yanling. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. do. So finish your whiskey and beer. Do 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 do. To be fair, Fall of the Thran's like pretty good in these matchups. I've seen some of the Jeskai Planeswalkers playing Fall on their sideboard. I think it's great. Okie doke. Just need a third land and 2 draws. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. If they play an Arboreal Grease round 1, I'm Legion sending it. Just so we're aware. Just to set expectations here. Yeah, Unmoored Ego takes land. That's why you bring it in here. Is my tier 3 good enough to submit an Ashiok, a Fall plus Ashiok deck? It definitely is, Time Lord. Someone else was asking earlier, Doctor, if emails had gone out, so I assume they haven't yet. In my past experience, the thing pops up in the client before the emails go out, but that might differ from whatever. I will end your legion, Graza. I mean, I guess there's Greenlands in my deck. My deck does make green mana. Seek and find. If this picks up a Cavalier here, I'm really surprised they didn't name Cavalier there with my Thief in play. You'd have panicked, egoed field. Nah. Not super worried about Field of the Dead just yet. Nah, I want to take the Tamiyo out because they ditched a Cavalier Thorns. I really don't want them to Cavalier me next turn. Anybody remember the good old days when you hit someone with the Thief of Sanity and they had the decency to concede on the spot? Anybody else miss the good old days? Different times. I grew up in a different world. Yep. I believe preview season starts Monday. Is it Monday or does it start tomorrow? It might start tomorrow, actually. They did a social media promotion thing with a bunch of creators telling people to tune in to, yeah, there's a special Twitch event tomorrow, right? Has anybody said what that actually is? Like what it's supposed to be? I don't get invited to special things by Wizards of the Coast. But I talked to people who did get the things in the mail, and they also didn't know what was going on tomorrow. The new set drops on Arena September 26th. Hey, Surf the Wave. Thank you for the 2 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Wow, they got multiple memorials to follow. Let the greed consume you. So, speaking of folly, they can pick up and play Cavalier here if they have an untapped land, which is likely. Now, we're hoping to draw an untapped land so we can Vraska's Contempt this. So our goal here is to hit an untapped land for Contempt, Contempt the Cavalier, and then take their Nexus of Fate. And we bricked. Remember that time we egoed them and it just didn't matter? Pepperidge Farmer members. So, yeah, I don't think I'd take a deck like this again. In fact, I know I talked about doing 2 standard decks a day between now and rotation. I'm honestly not sure we're going to have enough variety to fill that in and make it happen. Because, like, not only is, like, hype low for standard right now, but, like, a lot of these mid-range decks, they're just bad. They get outclassed. They can't beat Nexus of Faith. They can't beat Field of the Dead. Like, there's too many things that they just struggle against. Yeah, right. Do I just, like, play Yarok, Field, and Kisis every day? I guess that's, like, what other people are doing, right? Just, like, playing the same things. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather just do more Modern. I think if we can keep if the Modern queue can stay up, I might cut back to 2 or 3 standard days a week. I'm kind of burned on standard myself. I don't think I'm going to drop standard altogether because you don't want to stop doing things because then you'll lose people entirely, but I might not do standard 5 days a week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe the Dino getting unbanned will change things, but I really wish we had Historic or something already to, like, make this have more variety. Because, like, while there's a variety of decks that I can accept, like this one, but, like, there's a good chance that this deck is just us getting stuffed in the box for 5 or 6 matches too. This deck at least have a slightly aggressive slant, but I would be surprised if it doesn't struggle. I don't know. It's not even for sanity reasons too. I just feel like if the standard content's going to be a similar level of, a lot of people have just, like, checked out of standard completely right now. So, like, my standard numbers aren't meaningfully better than Modern, and the Modern numbers have actually been destroying standard in terms of YouTube views.